Hi, everybody. It's Craig and Arun back with your college football Wednesday action. Yeah, Hump Day Wednesday. We got two games for you for the October 22nd day here. I think, actually better than what people expect as far as when you look at the team names. And we're going to hopefully break that down and give you some winners. Don't forget, we got a couple new specials. We've been working this behind the scenes. So first and foremost, don't forget, this is the Old Faithful. YouTube Premium Plus. All you have to do is click the link below, get in that level 3. This is when you do the level 3, and here's why. So if you're on level 1 or 2, upgrade. We're going to give out exclusive parlays, props, some extra picks in both NBA and NHL, maybe even college football and NFL. It'll just be different each day. So probably like 4 or 5 times a week. Won't be every day. But on top of what you already get, and then, of course, live shows that we do during live, like we did Monday Night Football this week. So make sure you join in on that YouTube Premium. Also, got a special 2-for-1 football pass. You can get a week pass, both Craig and Arun, that is. So go, and that's how we got this, the docsports.com/Craig Arun. So for 99 bucks,
idea was this?
You get two cappers, both of us. And that'll be about 15, 16 plays. IC usually does 6 every week in college football with at least one top play. Sometimes maybe a little more every once in a while. Then I do 2 top plays a week, a total of 7 or 8 plays. So you can't beat it. 99 bucks. Make sure you go over it. Only way to get it is at this link. All righty. Let's get right to what you're here for. How about the picks? We've got the first game, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Middle Tennessee at Delaware. Delaware, pretty disappointing last week. Let us down. Delaware minus 7.5, total 55. Do they bounce back this week? I see.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I know Middle Tennessee State is 1-5. But, head coach Derek Mason obviously was hired in 2023. Prior to taking over, he was a defensive coordinator at Oklahoma State. You saw how bad Oklahoma State has gotten. And he used to be the head coach at Vanderbilt before that, right? So Delaware returns, 17 of 22 starters. We know Ryan Carty is a fantastic offensive coordinator. He used to be over at Sam Houston State. So you got a defensive-minded coach here versus an offensive-minded coach here. And Middle Tennessee, their defense is still pretty darn good. They gave up 24 to Kennesaw State, but Kennesaw State is quite good. They've lost 3 in a row coming into this game. Delaware comes into this game. Bad loss to Jacksonville State. Bad loss to, they lost to Western Kentucky as well. Did beat Connecticut and FIU. These two teams have no history towards each other. This is a tough game, man. I got to be honest with you. This is a tough game because what you have is a situation. The interesting thing is that 60% of the public is on the under too. You have a situation here where Middle Tennessee State is a 1-5 team, but they've lost 3 in a row. But I got to be honest with you. I was pretty impressed with their contest against Kennesaw State. So I thought they came back pretty hard there. But I got to tell you, Delaware comes off its first back-to-back losses of the year. And that, too, this was probably their worst loss outside of that Colorado loss, which isn't a bad loss, I think. But losing to Jacksonville State in a game, they were down 21-6 and then down 35-12. They're going to be pissed, man, coming into this game. Did you know Delaware only rushed for 34 yards that game? And they passed for 422. You had a quarterback that literally passed for 422 yards. They couldn't get anywhere. And I just don't think Middle Tennessee will be able to offensively match that, match that kind of offensive production. So put it all together. I'm going to lay the chalk here. I'm going to go with Delaware State minus the 7.5 just out of pure frustration. Craig, Missouri State, speaking of the aforementioned Missouri State is a minus 2-point favorite here against New Mexico State. They're 3-3. After that horrible game against USC, 13-73, their coaching staff has done pretty well. They came back beating Marshall, hung around against SMU and covered that 20.5, beat Tennessee Martin, and then beat Middle Tennessee recently. And then you have a New Mexico State team that, of course, covered that 11.5-point chalk against Liberty, only lost by 3 points to their credit. What do you like here?
Probably should have won, to be very honest. They played really good. Last week, I told you, this New Mexico State and New Mexico, I said both these teams are better. Like 3 years ago, they were like 2 of the bottom 5 teams in football. They have really improved where game in, game out, they're at least going to give you a good effort. And that's what you want as a bettor. Like, hey, I think I can have faith. Now, Missouri State would be similar where they're like a really good team and they're coming off a bye. I always love teams coming off a bye when they're playing these midweek games because, these are big games. They're highly televised games. These guys don't get this opportunity very often. I think it's going to be an absolute great game. I could see either team winning. So when that's the case, why mess with the sides? Let's play a total. And when you say Missouri State, you should think unders. They've only had, out of the 6 games, they've only had 1 over all year long. And the last one was, I believe, the first game of the year, right, against USC. That was the only. So they've been 5 in a row. I think New Mexico State wouldn't mind playing a kind of knockdown, drag-out running type game. Let's play the under in this matchup. And what I think is going to be, of the 2 games, I think this is the better game as far as just how close it's going to be. Take the under in this second game. Don't forget, if you want in on all of our top plays, go over, use that Premium Plus here. All you got to do, link is in the thing. You'll get in about 250 plays a week. A month. And it's all for just $49.99 a month. And then, of course, get in on our absolute top plays of Football Pass. Get in it today before they change their mind. Only way to do it, DocSports.com/Craig and Craig Arun. Don't put spaces or anything. It's just all like that as it is on the screen. And you can get 2 cappers for just $99.